Hey y'all, it's me, Niecy Lynn. This is Flosstube 67. This is April the 9th. This is the second day after my second shot. So I felt kind of weird yesterday, but I seem to be fine this morning. So hallelujah. I think it's, I feel like I'm way far away from y'all. Am I way far away from y'all? I'm gonna make you sick, wiggle you around a little bit. Let's see. I don't know, maybe I'm not far away from y'all. I feel like I'm crooked and far away from y'all today, but I don't know what to do about that. So I've messed with the light forever. I guess because it's overcast today, it's kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of yellow-green in here, but oh well. I hope y'all are having a happy Friday. We have had a busy week around here. We thought earlier in the week we might get baby Catch, but not yet. So we're still hanging out and waiting for him. We are ready. We are so ready. So, and I'm going to jump right on into questions. Like this is a station about cross stitch. I think all y'all know that. I don't think probably many people happen upon this, where I talk about cross stitch, needlework, sewing, and then just my day-to-day life, which is usually some kind of a circus. It is, but I am grateful and thankful for it. I enjoy it. I enjoy all y'all, and so that's what we're going to talk about today. Carol Ann had asked how I dye fabrics and which dyes I like. I might try to do a little video on it. I just usually use RIT dye. I occasionally coffee or tea dye, but I don't usually bake mine because I don't want to burn it and it get brittle, and that has happened to me because I tend to get distracted. My attention span is about as long as my big little toe, not even my big toe, my little toe, it's about that long. So I tend not to bake mine because I don't want to burn it, and I know you can, and it just makes me nervous that it would get super brittle. So I just use the RIT dye, and if you use the camel, to me the camel colored RIT dye is very similar to when I've used, especially tea. Coffee to me gives you much more of like a dark brown with no gold or red tone in it to me. And then when I use tea, I get like a real gold looking color. And that's what I get when I use the camel. So like say you buy a piece of even weave at, I don't know, Hobby Lobbies and Michael's, I think you still carry them. Joann's don't anymore carry anything but Ada, I don't think, which is fine. I just have enough Ada in my stash. I haven't bought any. So, oh my gosh, the bag's under my eyes for heavenly days. Oh, allergies are kicking it around here. Oak is up, and it's killing us all. So, but I just usually like it to be kind of bright or brighter than I wanted, like a bright kind of a blue, but not a fun bright blue, like not like this blue. It'll be like, this is a piece of even weave that I dunked in camel to take it down a little bit. So it's just camel RIT dye, and I just dunked it in there to take it down a little bit. I didn't get as much stitching done this week because I did get trims put on all but one of these guys. This guy still doesn't have any trim because Aria Kyle says he needs some, she wants him to have purple rick. She really likes the rick. So this, I did get some more ruching done. Thank you, Vanna, but it's still hard for me. But it does come out super cute. She has a tutorial on it. Vanna's tutorial on ruching is so good. And then this little guy here, he got the pink rick. But Aria says the others need some purple rick. She wants purple rick on this one. So I will be going to get us some purple rick. Maybe today or tomorrow. And this guy got just a little bit of just that kind of stuff on him. I haven't put my little felt on here yet because I think I'm going to open him up and put some more in the corner. He kind of settled down a little bit, but there he is with his little, I guess it's kind of a Judish looking stuff. But I took the wire out. Well, here's the wire. I left it so I can show y'all. See, it was wired, and I could just pull the wire out. I'm going to clip it and fold it back under. But it was just some trim wire stuff that I got at Joann's a while back, and it's just sits in my stash. So then I just separated the twist and did it like that. But there's those that I wanted to show that you can just undo and clip and then push them back in. So that guy worked without untwisting him. So that was something I did this week. So, but that is a piece that is redunked, Carol. And I just, like I said, if I have a piece, it's just not, it's kind of, I don't know, look kind of like a baby color, you know, like you'd think of like baby pink and baby blue. Sometimes that's just not what I'm looking for. And so then if you just dunk it in that camel, squeeze it out and let it dry. And then I'll redunk it to be sure there's not any coming out, you know, any extra dye, you know, that released extra dye after it dries. And then you can do that a couple of times till you get it however dark you want it. But you know, what is the light doing? Well, it is really dark out that window, I guess is the thing. But I just use the liquid RIT dye I buy at, like, I think I bought it all at Joann's. All that I have, or at the grocery store even. I think I've grabbed some at the grocery store sometimes. So I do need to do some more. So I'll try to see if I can do a little video. But I just use the RIT and I dunk it, squeeze it, let it dry, and then redo it after it's dried and I've rinsed it. I always rinse it and just squeeze it out again and let it dry and then just iron it. And I've never had any trouble with any transfer or anything like that. But like I said, it scares me putting it in the oven because I know my attention span is, you know, non-existent. That's all there is to it. Oh, and which I'm missing with this here, the hair today is brought to you by, I get questions about this every week, so I'm gonna try to do better about this, about showing this occasionally. This is, I use Garnier Fructis Root Amp because I have a ton of hair, but it's fine. And so I put it just right here usually, right here on the top of my head. And then I sprayed all over with, no, this is, oh, I grabbed the wrong thing. It's not your mother's, but it's the beach salt spray. This is the dry shampoo. I grabbed the wrong thing. But Not Your Mother's has a salt spray that you can put on your damp hair, and that's on here. And then here is my little, I use this hairspray. Garnier Fructis Volume. This is a 3. I get a 3 whatever I grab, it doesn't matter. I just use a lot of hold because we have a lot of humidity here. And then lipstick today is by, I think it's Wet n Wild, Liquid Catsuit. Let's see here. Yes, I was trying to find it on there. Wet n Wild, and it's the Liquid Catsuit. And it stays on under your mask. Very recognized today. So that's the lipstick of the day. So that was my get ready this morning. And then Debbie says there is a Stitch Nature retreat. I didn't see it on the Facebook page. I just went and looked, and I am behind on everything. I have not been getting to watch any Flosstube at all this week. And but I went and looked on the Facebook page and I didn't see it. So Debbie emailed me, NieceLynn at Yahoo, and let me know if there's what it is, and I'll see if I can, because I would love to see everybody, because I just got my second shot. So in 2 weeks, I'll be free to roam about the country. Shannon, it would be, she said it would be fun to see how many states, provinces, and countries a pattern could travel to. And that would be like crazy fun. So I'm gonna try to think on that. If anybody has any suggestions on how to do that, let me know, because that would be super fun. Mary says, me doing my sewing was, well, yeah, that is how I sew. Like, seriously, like the zombie sewing room. It's like an I Love Lucy skit in there, because I have zero clues about what I'm doing. So I go fast and slow and fast and slow and fast and slow. And so yes, I'm sure it is like crazy time. If anybody was to be watching in there, they would go like, Lord have mercy, girl. Relax, calm down. But that's just how I do. That's how I do everything. James Williams made me mad Saturday morning, and I'd had about all I could take of him before we ever even got going. Yeah. And so I went out and started clipping limbs. and I trimmed my trees all up and got them all done because I was just thinking I was cutting his head off every time I closed those loppers. Yeah, that's how I do. So then, you know, I'll just run around and, you know, and so I got my trees trimmed because that is how I do things. So not only is me sewing probably like an I Love Lucy skit, but probably every hour of every minute of my day is like an I Love Lucy skit because I'm all over the place. When I had Mimi last week, we went and helped Micah, not this week, but last week, mail some stuff. So I took Mama with me, and we're in there, and Aria's come running, you know, said, "Hi, Mimi," and gave her a hug and everything. And then we sat down to do our sweatshop work, as I called it, because Micah was labeling things, and we were sending them out for her because she had had a big sale in the shop. And Jen came through, who is an esthetician that shares a space with Micah, and Seiji, who does, you know, the eyebrows and the eyelids and stuff, my niece. And Jen stood there for a second, and she said, "She's all over the place today," to Mike about talking about me. She said, "Your mother is all over the place today." And that, Mike said, "Yep." And that's just how my brain does it. I have like a frog of thought. I don't have a train of thought. I have a frog, and it goes from here to 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 here. And that's just how it do. So that is my normal day to day. So yes, I'm sure if somebody was to record in here, they would probably be dying because it would be so ridiculous all day, every day, crazy. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, Mary. So if you ever get bored, I guess come hang out for a day, and you'll just probably die laughing because the way I do crazy things. Susan asked about on when I stitched Tis the Season. She got Tis the Season, and she was going to stitch it, which I intended to grab, but I didn't. When I changed, because it says, you know, Tis the Season in English or French across the bottom, and I changed mine to say, Remember Me. The alphabet I used is basically out of the American Eagle by Blackbird, and it's in one of the Blackbird books, or I think it maybe was a Merit Pinkeep, you know, whatever those are. I think it was one of those. So I just changed. I mean, you think about it, Remember Me, most of the letters, except for the B's, I think are in America. So I just had to change up the R to a B. I think that's all I had to do. So it's in American Eagle by Blackbird Designs, and it's in one of the books. It's not Souvenir of Summer, I don't think. I think it's the other one. So, and like I said, I think it was a pin keep at one time maybe, but I'm not sure. Your LNS can tell you, they'll know absolutely. But the colors I used for it were Weeks Dye Works, Whitewash, Bark, Palomino, or Turkish Red. I used Classic Colorworks Peapod. And then in Gentle Arts, I used Brandy, Forest Glade, Grecian Gold, and Wild Berries. Those are the ones I used for my Tis the Season. I think a lot of those are called for. I know I've changed my Turkish to the cardinal itself to Turkish Red, because whatever it called for was kind of a pinkish color, and mine aren't pinky. Mine are like, the cardinals around here are like a red, like the scissor. I mean, they're red. And I know, you know, according to what they eat, they change, you know, their diet changes them. If you go out around Arizona, I think they're a lot more orangey looking than just, but ours are straight up fire engine around here. So, and one of y'all asked this week, not on here, on Insta or Facebook or something, and now I don't know where I wrote it down, but one of y'all asked about my Shepherd's Bush flag, which I haven't got out. I put those out at summer, but I did flag by Shepherd's Bush, and asked about what colors I used. I used Gast, so Gentle Arts, Flax, Cherry Bark, and O-Red paint. DMC, I had 732, 754, and 3371. And then Classic Colorworks, I had Bean Sprout, Blue Corn, ribbon red, and 12 grain. And it was also on a scrap of this right here, this blue even weave that was camel RIT dyed. So that's what it was stitched on, was at. And they had one more question about colors. Yes, Kathy asked for the colors for Hedgerow House, which I have here. So I had Freedom by Gentle Arts, and then I had a bunch of DMCs. So 4260 is that purple. 4045 is the green I'm using, and now these are DMCs. I assume they're still available at, I know Joann's doesn't have them anymore, but DMC 4205, which is very pretty. This is the Madeira color that one of y'all had asked about, and Darlie sent it to me. Darlie, do you know which color this is? I thought I had saved the little wrappy thing, but I cannot find it. I was gonna take that piece of wrappy thing right there, and I can't find it, but I'm still looking. So if anybody knows, this came, I think, with her Hedgerow House kit. It's a Madeira color, but it is beautiful. So if anybody knows what that Madeira color is, DMC 647, white. Then DMC 4090 and 4240. Then I used, this week, I used some of the colors before, but this is my Wicked Stepmother Bittersweet, which that thing is beautiful. And this is I Want Candy. And it is so fun. So you'll see those in a few minutes when we go through whips. I used both of those this week in the work I did on it. So those are the colors for Hedgerow House that I'm using so far. I'll probably have to, I think I still have one or two, maybe that I haven't picked yet. And Juanita asked about the basket here. This is out of Easter Parade by Blackbird. This one and that one up there, right there. I grabbed this guy out. He hadn't been out in a while, so I grabbed him out today. But I used the called for, but now I did it in 2015. So they probably have changed since then. The only thing I know is maybe if some of them are, Kimmy made me this, so I've got it stuck on here. But I feel like they're all the Gentle Arts. I think I used all the Gentle Arts. You might check the DMCs, but I used the called fors on them. Right there. So I think they should be the same. I mean, you know, there'll be minor variations, but I feel like they should be all the same because I either would have used the called for DMC, all the called for Gentle Arts, and I think I ordered the Gentle Arts to do it with. But like I said, pull some of the DMCs and see if that's closer. I didn't keep track back then, which I hate because now I don't know. So that is one thing I love about keeping track of my colors. So when y'all ask about it, or when I want to stitch something again and I'm like, oh, I love that color, I can go back and pull my notes and see what I used to, on that pattern to reuse it. But like this, back then I didn't keep track of it. So if I didn't use the exact color, if I couldn't get it or something and I replaced it, I don't know what I replaced it with. So Juanita, I hope it comes out right. And Peggy also had asked about the colors for those. So this one and the bunny here, let's see if we can get him up here without knocking him. I should have grabbed him already. I think they're all the Gentle Arts that called for. This is Easter Parade. This and the basket right here are both in Easter Parade by Blackbird Designs, and they did re-release it. It's available now, and it is this may be one of my all-time favorite stitches. I just love him. I hate when I put him up every year. I just don't have a room that has, it's like super pastel like that, or I would leave him up like forever because I do love him so much. And he's just in a standard frame I bought. Let me see if it'll say where. This is a Hobby Lobby 8x10 frame. So he's just in a standard 8x10 Hobby Lobby frame. So he is not expensive to frame up either. Now this one is also in a Hobby Lobby frame, and I just had him offset the mat. And of course, for years now, I've intended to paint some pansies right there. It ain't happened yet. You could also just run a piece of, if you had a pretty piece of ribbon, or rick, as Ari says, you could run them right down here and just use a standard frame. Framing is crazy expensive. So if it's where I can, I try to use a standard frame and just kind of adjust around it. So for what that's worth. Let's see here. I'm all the ums this morning. Virginia, she said they're not huggers either. So y'all got to get that handshake down. Micah has that handshake down to perfection. And so when somebody goes to hug her like this, she goes in with, if you shoulder out and put your hand out and shoulder out like this and keep your body back, they can't hug you. And that's what she does. That is her technique, and it keeps people up off her. She's not a hugger. She doesn't like people on her. That's just her. James Williams' whole family's like that. They're not, that's just not them. So work on that. Work on that. I call it the hug deflection handshake. So y'all gonna have to practice on your hug deflection handshake. Just go in with that shoulder and that hand out front, and then they have to take your hand. I mean, if not, you're gonna poke them right here in the chest. So it works. It works. So if you're not a hugger and that's not your comfort place, that's fine. Just shake people's hand, or nowadays I guess you could use the same thing for a fist bump. James Williams isn't shaking anybody's hand right now because he's never liked it anyway, because he is a germaphobe to the nth degree. No joke. He is like crazy kooky about it. And so even before COVID, he was like, he shook hands and he can crush your hand, but he does not, he's like, it's nasty. It's nasty. So for what it's worth, there is that technique. And Char and Sherry were kind enough to tell me that PBS is on different channels in different places. I didn't know if it was or not, but I watch a lot of PBS, and Sherry also said that I need to give Jamie Fraser a chance. Now he is handsome. He is handsome as all get out. He and both guys on the Men in Kilts are both very nice looking men to me. But he's handsome as all get out. But like I said, I'm just not down with the time travel. But I might try to be open-minded, Sherry. I don't know. I'll try. Oh, and Sherry and Cheryl Loves Purple also said that I should probably need to take my machine in and get it serviced. So I probably will try to get on that. Or if I would video myself sewing and then show both sides, that it would be easier for the experienced sewers to tell me what was wrong as opposed to everybody trying to guess, which is a very good idea. So, and I still haven't got out Mimi's machine and seen if I can, her machine's out there, Mama's machine's in the garage, and I haven't got it out to see if I can figure it out yet. It's a Singer, but I don't know if I'm that brave. And Kathy and Kristen were kind enough to tell me that they are only backward to me when I show things. That is very confusing for me. It's one of the things like time telling, which we're fixing to go into, that I am on the struggle all the time with it. Can they see that right? Is it wrong? It's right. It's wrong. Because it's one of those things that my brain will not remember. My brain will not remember. So many of y'all, BJ, Tuscarosa, Ann, Edith, sent me ways to try to keep AM and PM right. AM is at morning, PM is past morning, A comes before P. There were several on here that I've got jotted down to try to help me keep. Jules Stitchen said if it's dark, it's 12 a.m. So 12 a.m. is when it's dark, and because that's my problem is the 12 o'clock, the exact 12 o'clock time. It just kills me. So If it's dark, it's 12 a.m. It am dark. Maybe I can remember it that way. I'm gonna try. I'm still trying. I did finally learn to tell time in my 30s, so you know, there's hope. Elizabeth and Veronica, they were with me on the time travel. If they're going time traveling, they're gonna go see things. So Elizabeth and Veronica, if I get that time machine, I'm gonna pick y'all up. We're gonna holler at Chrisio because she has got to go before she got to go on my dream trip with Elizabeth Peters, and go with her to the author Elizabeth Peters to see the pyramids. She is an Egyptologist. She writes the Crocodile and the Sandbake, and those books, if you haven't read them, I love them. I've read them over and over and over again. Maybe just because she has a cantankerous husband, I don't know, and she gets to go spend her days in Egypt. Well, I already have the cantankerous husband. Why can't I spend my days looking at the pyramids? I don't know. But, so I love those books, Crocodile and Sandbake, and that whole series. But Amelia Peabody is the character name. But I'm going to pick y'all up and we're all going to go if I get that time machine. So when I get it, Elizabeth, Veronica, y'all know we're going to pick up Chris and take her with us because she's already been once and knows all the good things, all the shortcuts. Oh, Lord, y'all, hold on. Who is at my door? Nobody ever comes to my door. Hold on. I'm back. It was the weed company. They sprayed and some of them died and some of them did not, and I'm not sure what or why, if the rain hit at the wrong time and messed it up or what, so he was just going to reapply, but I was apologizing for not coming yesterday, but I knew he was just going to have to squeeze me in, so I didn't think he was going to come anyway. But so thank y'all for holding. Where was I? Oh, and Brenda H., I hope you're okay. When Annie was with my Arkansas family, y'all had all those tornadoes kind of last week. And so I hope y'all are all right out there, Brenda, with all those dang tornadoes and all that mess. Oh, and Amy, thank you for telling me about the dogs on my May Health and Peace. I did notice that. After you said that, I went and looked and I was like, oh, so thank you. I have to add those puppies back in. I'll show you in a minute. And Stitches with Vodka ask about the new baby's name. If it was Cash or Catch, what? It's K-A-T-C-H, Catch Allen. And so he will have Keely's initials because Keely's Keely Allen. And so he'll have Catch Allen. So the brand, the cattle brand and the company name, all that can stay the same because Keely is building a legacy for he and Baby and Baby Catch. And that's what he does is on the, that's just the camera will keep going off when it sees the guy go in the backyard, y'all. So y'all just keep hearing that. So it's K-A-T-C-H, Catch. So Catch Allen will be his name. And we're excited. Like I said, we thought that he was going to get here early this week. And he tricked us. So we were ready, so ready, and then tricked us. He's not quite, I mean, he's not technically due till I think around the 17th, around my birthday, in between mine and CJ's birthday. They said he would be born between the 17th and the 24th probably. So he's not quite, you know, he's not overdue by any means, but he's not here yet. And since your Stitches Well with Vodka, I needed to know, do you ever use, instead of, now we all know I love me some Herradura tequila, but tequila has a lot of sugar in it. Have you ever tried making your margaritas with vodka instead of tequila? It's really good. And if you're one of those people that gets mean when they drink tequila, try making them with vodka instead, because it is good. And it cuts down on some of the sugar. And maybe you won't get in a fight. Just saying. Carol says, she wanted to know how much I stitch because she feels like I get a lot done. Thank you, because I feel like I don't get anything done. But I do stitch several hours a night when James comes in after we eat dinner, and we'll turn on TV, and I stitch the whole time. I'm a listener, and so I don't watch the TV as much as I listen to the TV, and I'll just stitch the whole time. And then, of course, he'll say something, and I'll say, they just said that. Because he is visual. He hears no words that they say. Not only is he deaf anyway, but he hears 0 words that they're talking about on there. None. I swear he hears no words they say. And if you have a high-pitched voice, you know those high tones, he can't hear anything. So I usually end up having to tell him what's happening on the TV, even though I'm not watching the TV, because I listen to the shows and he is a watcher. So we'll see. Let's see, where was that now? So anyway, I stitch a couple of hours at night, and then on the weekend I'll get more stitching in, just in between, you know, what we go and do. We ate at his mama's for Easter, and Annie and Buddy went on a little short trip up to the Panhandle. They took a little road trip, so they went and did that. So, oh, he's gonna try to open that other gate. Oh, I guess he's gonna pull under that other gate. It's locked, and I can't open it, so it's to keep the girls in. We put a padlock on it thing, and I think it's rusted shut, and I don't know where the key is. So, but I guess he's just gonna pull that little hose under. Anyway, it'll go right under. So, okay, and Heidi had a new grandbaby this week, I think on the 3rd. So congratulations. That's so exciting. She had a baby boy grandbaby too. So congratulations, Heidi. Okay, and if I could read my writing. Oh, Lorraine and Sue and Linda, the pants are back. The traveling pants have returned. The traveling pants were right where they should be. They were not there at all, where they went. But you know, I told y'all there's that Twilight Zone episode where the little men that build the minutes, sometimes they mess up and they go back and then they put your thing back where it should be because they realize they messed up when you're looking for it. And they're like, oh no. And then they go back and put it there. And that's why whenever you look for your keys for 2 hours and then you go back and they're right where they should be, right there in the little tray where you keep keys, that's why. So I think this must have been what happened to my pants, because they were put up in such a, like if James Williams had found it in some of his stuff, or even if he had been hiding them, he wouldn't have known to put them in this exact spot, because he doesn't pay that much attention to my clothing, let's be honest. Unless it's on my body, he knows 0 about it. So it's crazy that then they were right there. I mean, honestly, because I have like those bins and they were just sitting like right there. Go figure. So they did return though. Jewel Stitcher, she said that she thought we could be kin. Jewel Stitcher, we could be kin because, you know, my granny came from Andalusia, Alabama when she came to Texas. So my daddy's grandma, not my daddy's mama, but my daddy's grandma, and we called her Granny. She's the one that made the little around the world quilt for me. She came from Andalusia, Alabama on a wagon. So we could very well be kin, Jewel Stitcher. Linda, ask about Jelly Bean Jubilee. Jelly Bean Jubilee is by Brenda Gervais with the needle and thread. Of course, you can pick them up at your LNS. She has like an online store called, I think it's Country Stitches Online. I think that's it, Country Stitches Online. And so all those are in here. So it is with thy needle and thread, Jelly Bean Jubilee, and it says by Brenda Gervais. So I think you could probably find it on all those things. But if you call your LNS and say Jelly Bean Jubilee, they'll hook you up. And also, Linda, I'm wishing you sweet memories on Easter. Sweet memories and some visits, some cardinal visits on Easter. You said you'd gone out to the cemetery, and there is, which made me think of cemetery I hadn't thought of in a long time. I don't know if I ever told you about this. It's out around Tawakona, and if that's where they filmed the original Chainsaw Massacre, Texas Chainsaw Massacre and all that. But there's an old cemetery out there, and it has got to be an optical illusion. It cannot be like real, I mean, let's be honest. But if you go to the entrance of the cemetery and put your car in neutral and it looks like you're looking up into the cemetery. It's a slight incline. It's not, you're not going up a mountain, but it's, it's incline. Your car will go into the cemetery on its own with your car in neutral. It will go into the cemetery. So I'm just saying. So you're talking about going to the cemetery visit, made me think about that cemetery and how crazy that is. And Molly said that they found a cigar and a business card in her wall. And she said when she would only smell it when her husband was around. Like when she was kissing her husband, she would smell cigar smoke in their house. Always. And none of them smoked cigars. She couldn't figure it out. Well, then when they redid the bathroom, they tore the wall out, they found a cigar and a business card from the plumber that had redone it, I think she said in the 40s or the 50s. And he had put this, but it was petrified. That cigar, of course, was petrified after all that time. And, but once they redid the bathroom and took the cigar out and everything, they didn't smell it no more. I just think that plumber was stealing kisses, okay? I'm just saying, for what it's worth. He was lonely in there, and I think he was just stealing kisses. Letha said, on your comment, I am the queen of mistyping and forgetting to look. James Williams would say, do you ever look before you send me anything? No. I don't care if I send you a typo, James Williams. Lord have mercy. Why would I care about that? I don't care if anybody sends me a typo, but James Williams is always double checking, check, double checking, check, double checking, that kind of thing. So, Letha, I mistype all the time too. It's fine. Oh, and E. Kennedy, I found speed lever. There's a speed lever on your sewing machine I didn't know about, and she told me about it, and I went there and found it. So maybe this will keep me from sewing like a zombie all the time. So she said, put it on the 1 and it'll keep it going slow. So there is, and I did. So thank you. And Jennifer Pickle was one of the ones that says, remember AM is at midnight. So that's a way to remember that. But she also said that they love Scooby-Doos. They love Scooby-Doo too, and that's even how they measured time in the car. In your car, the kids will say, how much longer, how much longer, how much longer? And she said, since Scooby-Doo's 30-minute episode of Scooby-Doo, they'd say, well, it's one Scooby-Doo. It's one Scooby-Doo long. And it just made me think of whenever the kids were in camp, and we would, go with chaperones, we'd load the buses up, the vans up, and there we go. Off we go. And are we there yet? Are we there yet? We always said 10 more minutes, 10 more minutes. It's 10 more minutes. It didn't matter if we had 16 hours. 10 more minutes. It's 10 more minutes. That was our pat response for how much longer. 10 more minutes. So your Scooby-Doo episode made me think of being in the vans and the kids won't stop and, are we there yet? Can we stop? Can we stop? We got to stop. We had to stop in a part of Houston one time that was bad. But Micah was sick. And I said, Paul, you got to stop. He said, we can't stop here. I said, oh, you got to stop here, Paul. Look at my face. You have got to stop. She is sick. She's about to be sick all in this van. And then it's going to be worse. So he didn't want to. And sure enough, Michael was really sick. Really sick. It was bad. And it was a bad part of Houston. It was, Lord have mercy. There are those neighborhoods where you don't want to stop, and they have all the metal bars, and it's just like, oh my gosh. I love me some Houston, but just like every big city, there are areas where this is not a good place to stop. This is not safe to have kids, but we had to. And of course, he bought a lot of things, and then Michael was really sick, and he ended up even having to stand outside the store. It was bad. She was real sick. Oh boy, those were the days. So Jennifer, thank you. Jennifer Pickle, which we used to call Shatta Ray Dill Pickle when she was little. So thank you for making me think about those van rides in those days. And this little bunny, before somebody will ask, is from the September 1989 issue of For the Love of Cross Stitch. He's like Ribbons, Buttons, and Bows or something. Bunnies, Buttons, and Bows, I think is the name of it. But it's in that issue, September 1989 of For the Love of Cross Stitch. And he is just an adorable little bunny. You could not do at the top and just do the adorable little bunny looking at anything. He's just cute as he could be. I did get Happy Mail this week and a happy visit. Y'all know my friend came up from Kerrville, so I got to see her. And then my other friend here in town came over, and she said, well, I have this for you. And her mama, and I don't remember if she said knitted or crocheted, So Miss Ann made this for me, and my friend Kristen gave it to me. And it is, I hope it shows up how beautiful it is. And it is giant and beautiful and fabulous. I was just so excited. She got me a necklace and some earrings, and Kristen is such a fabulous friend and a fabulous gift giver. So thank you, Miss Ann, and thank you, Kristen. That was so incredible. And it was so incredible to get to see Mel. And she did get to see her mama. They have visitation from 10 to 2. And so she was able to get up on Saturday morning and go over there and be there with her mama. So, and then of course she got on the road back to Kerrville, which is, Lord have mercy. I want to say it's probably 6 hours for her to get from Kerrville to her mama's nursing home. So that's a lot. And then this is on the count. I didn't realize this was mine, and I thought it was something for James. And it was a gift from Diane for my birthday, and I am so excited about this. I didn't even know there was a such thing. You and your sewing machine. So thank you so much, Diane. I needed this desperately. And I love a book, and you can't get a book anymore. They want to send you, tell you to, go look at it online. I need a book. I need to be able to sit it down here in front of me and then look at what I'm doing and look at the book, and it doesn't work that way with a video. I need still things that I can look at. And it even tells you like how your sewing machine really, like how the tension should look. I mean, it is so cool. So Diane, thank you so much. This is the coolest thing ever. How to clean it. I mean, and it has such good pictures. I mean, it's all these cool things. How to do on your sewing machine, how to clean your sewing machine, I mean, it is fabulous. So thank you so much, Diane. That was super fun this week. Like I said, I thought that package was of James Williams's, and it wasn't. And then I got a package from Sweet Wendy with this beautiful card with the pansies in it that we know I love. She is Atlanta Stitcher, and she does, the project bags that I use. And I use all the project bags y'all see me, but this is so beautiful. And this, I don't remember what she said the fabric is called. Does it tell me in here? Or did we talk about it when we were messaging? We must have talked about it messaging. Does it say? No, it doesn't. We must have been when we were messaging. But it is so beautiful. Look at that. She makes those beautiful bags. These are fabulous. She said she loved it so much she thought she was going to make a quilt out of it, and I thought that'd be the prettiest thing ever. So thank you, Wendy. That is beautiful. She is Atlanta Stitcher on Facebook, and she does sell bags. So you can get one of these beautiful bags if you want one. So thank you so much. And when y'all send me a bag, y'all see I do put the card in there. So whenever I use it, I open the bag, I remember to say a little prayer for y'all. So for thank you prayer for y'all for being my friend, and I enjoy it so much and enjoy y'all. And y'all do not have to send me anything. I'm always shocked. I remember to write that I showed my Afghan on here from Miss Ann. So I think that puts us to, and the Nevermore is not this Nevermore that Ann was looking for. It is, I think, by Lila's Studio, and it is fabulous. I think when y'all said that last week, it is so cool. So if you haven't looked at it, go look at the one by Lila's Studio. I thought I had it written down on last week's page. But of course, can't find it now. Lila Mae, yes. Sherry told me last week that Lila Mae has the Nevermore, and it is so cool. And that is the one Ann wanted, and she's got it. So, but this is the one I had here. And I'm gonna stitch it up. And I think I ordered the little, I'm gonna do the little thingy thing, the tiny little one. Oh, and these are Color Street. I have not got to the salon, so I just put these on our Allison Norris. She has a Facebook group where she does them, and these are, I think it's called Out of Vegas, maybe, but they're like black sparkly, and I love them. So I haven't got to the salon, so you can stick those on top and then not look like you've been snatching fish up out the lake, because that's what my nails look like. I've been go snatch a trout up and keep on going. Okay, Now we are on to whips. I have all the whips. All whips today. Okay, we will start with Jelly Bean Jubilee. And the one I was working on is this one right here. And I didn't get much done on it because my weekend stitching time I spent making the trims and putting trims on, and that takes me forever. I know it shouldn't, but it does. And then, you know, I had all these colors that I've been using for the whole thing. And then the only two I have left are the Easter, this one, and the Hippity Hop, there we go, Hip Hop, Hippity Hip Hop, and then this one here. And I think I'm gonna combine them somehow. So hopefully I'll have that done next week. But I didn't get a lot done on it. This is a big block of solid stitching on here. But it is so cute. It is the cutest thing. This is, I believe, Love Letters in Sand, and it is such a good color. Let me pull it up here. Yes. It's a Wicked Stepmother Love Letters in Sand, and it has just perfect variegation in it. I love, love, love it. So I'll finish working on that little block and finish it up. So it's nearly done. It just has a couple of more jelly beans and some leaves, and then just finishing that block and it'll be all finished up. So that one isn't, I'm gonna stitch this whole book. It is that good. I'm just gonna stitch the whole thing and love it. Love, love, love it. Okay, now, next we have Hedgerow House. This is Hedgerow House here, and these are my colors that I've pulled for it so far. And I am in love with it. This week I got some more of this little viney stuff done. I got some of the back stitching done on the flower here, and then I started adding in this section. And that is a Wicked Stepmother, Bittersweet, and I Love Candy together. And I am just loving this thing. It is so pretty, and it's this is Toast by Be Stitch Me. The fabric is Toast by Be Stitch Me. And I am loving it. Love, love, loving it. It's so fun. It's a fun stitch, and it's not gonna be huge. There's a lot of stitching to it, but it's not gonna be gigantic by any means, but it is very pretty. And I have had so much fun with it. This is how the, this is how she has it stitched. And so I changed a lot of mine up. I changed the whole thing up because she has, each one of these purple flowers has like 3 colors of purple. Each one of these has like 3 colors, and I just don't like switching threads that much. I just don't. So I changed mine up, and I also needed some red. I need some red in nearly everything. I love red. And so I added my alphabet red, and that red of that alphabet is DMC 4205. And I'm loving stitching this thing. It is just a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I'm gonna try to, I'll probably make a crash, y'all, before we're all said and done, piling up all this stuff here, there, and everywhere. Oh, and I forgot, I was gonna say to y'all, I always try to think of things to tell y'all I don't know. And y'all don't know that I love turquoise, because I usually don't. I wear a necklace and some earrings, usually statement earrings just because, but I collect turquoise. And so these are some old turquoise earrings. This is a Stanley Mini Goats ring, which I adore. This is a spinner thumb ring. If you ever see me out, like if we go somewhere, I'll have rings on nearly every finger. I love rings. And this one has a spinner on it. You can spin the little rings around it. This one is a puzzle ring. This one I found when we were in, we went to Niagara Falls with Mama and then went on to Toronto, and because I wanted to see Casa Loma. And growing up with CJ, being the world's biggest X-Men fan and all this, and having to, he had all the X-Men comics and the cards, and we did all the X-Men and all the figurines and action figures. They were not dolls. But we were going to go to Casa Loma. And I was super excited. And y'all know my mama does not trust me. We've talked about this before. My mama trusts my sister. She does not trust me at all. I don't know why. I always felt like I was not that, I don't know. I never thought I was that bad. But I don't know. Maybe I was. But they say I was the better one, because I waited till I was grown and out of their hair to do what I wanted to do, because I didn't want to listen to nobody's business about it, okay? So, but I guess she always knew it was back there in the back of my mind. She don't trust me. So anything I wanted to go do, like, it would be late, and sister and I were like, we were gonna go, there was a bar down there, and we were gonna go down there and, get something to drink and hang out and talk to people, and she was not having it. She was not having it. She went with us. And of course, Mama don't drink, and she ain't in no bar, and she was, the whole time we were there. And we didn't stay that long, and the bartender kept trying to make friends with her and, offer her things to drink and all, and she wouldn't have none of it, her and her Dr. Pepper. And so I'm like, Mom, why do you have to go? Why you ain't happy, you ain't gonna be happy, you weren't gonna be happy, why you had to go? Why didn't you just stay in the room and read? And she said, there is no possible way I can let y'all go out. What would you do? We're representing our country. I do not know. Evidently, the horror of horrors, there's no telling what I would have done, evidently, because I would have shamed the whole country had I been allowed to go out alone. But coming to this ring, then we went to Casa Loma. And I don't know how they got the in and outs of it now, but you went up all these steps and you went around and you came in this way, okay? Well, we went all through it and went all through the grounds and all this and this. In my brain, I'm gonna go back out like by where I came in, right? The exit should be by the steps that I came in at. Yeah? No. Cindy, I know you're dying hearing this, okay? I got down there by that corner and there was not another thing. There was not an opening in that corner. There was nothing. It was just a big old concrete wall. And I was done. I was hungry and I was ready to go. And she said, oh no, the gate isn't down here. I guess we're gonna start. I said, oh no. Now listen, I ain't going back up. I am not going all the way across this property back to that other side. I ain't doing it. She said, well, what do you think? I said, I'm gonna climb over this fence and leave. I'm climbing over this fence and getting on the stairs I came in on, and I'm leaving. She said, you cannot climb over that fence. I said, Mom, what are we gonna do? We're breaking out? We paid to get in. We've seen what we want to see. I'm climbing over this fence and I'm leaving now. There's no gardens I'm tromping on. There's nothing. I'm leaving. Well, I went over first. Finally, sister said, I'm sister. I'm going, Mama. I'm tired of being in here. I want something to eat. So I go over first, and when my foot hits in the dirt, evidently, I guess kids probably climb up over in there all the time or something, because this ring right here was in the dirt. And I picked it up and put it in my pocket and took it in and washed it off, and I've had it ever since. And then we got Mom to the top of the wall, and with me on the front and sister on the back, we got her pushed over and situated. And y'all, this was many years ago. Please don't think I'm pushing my 78-year-old mama over the wall last week. This was, oh, look at that little squirrel. What are you doing? What are you doing up here right up on the house, you little naughty? He usually stays out toward the back. I don't know what he's doing up here, right on the house. I wonder if something's out in the yard. Or he don't like the smell of maybe he don't like the smell of the weed spray the guy uses. Because usually he don't come right up here on the back porch, but he's up here jumping up and down, showing out. twitching his tail, or one of the birds is after him. One of the mockingbirds may be after him. But anyway, this was many years ago. I was in my 30s. This is over 20 years ago. And so that's how I got this ring, and that's how my mama does not trust me to represent our country in other countries, because there's no telling what I would do. I guess it's true. I will climb over a wall and leave. I've already paid to get in. I've seen what I want to see, and I'm not going back. Y'all, it's acres. I'm not joking. There's no way I'm climbing all the way back up and out just to come down again. I'm not doing it. So maybe she's right. Maybe I shouldn't be trusted to represent our country. There's another little rabbit hole today. I also stitched on Jessie Watson, and this is the Sal with Raspberry Stitcher Barbara for Autism Awareness this month. And so my friend Mel that was up this weekend, her son Kobe really struggles, and he is very affected by autism, and bless his heart, he'll get going along great, and then, you know, something changes and he hits a hiccup and he has to readjust. It's just really hard for him. So when I saw that, not only is this beautiful, this is a Hands Across the Sea, and you can do the PDF download of it or order the chart and have them send it to you. But Barbara has it all broke off in like month to month to get it done in a year. Like, we're going to stitch a certain section like this. You can do it however you want, but she did give us a little time frame. Well, then I realized that I was going the wrong way on the time frame. Leave it to me. So this was supposed to be the first section, like right below here across for this month. So then I had to turn and get going the other direction with it. So that should be this way. And it is going to be beautiful. That border is so fancy. And it's one of the ones it's kind of hard for me with the threes and I haven't got it. I may not get it down, but I think I'll get it down eventually. And then I've got, these are my colors for it. I've got, I'm going to use blue velvet on a different little thing on the house and stuff, but my border is Colorworks Old Blue Jeans, Classic Colorworks, and then some of the green I'm using is DMC 937. That's on the leaves and stuff that you're seeing. Then I've got Holly Jolly Christmas as a green. Silence is Golden. That is beautiful. The little berries that you're seeing already are Little Red Riding Hood. It is beautiful. I've got Rose Garden, Spooky, and then the little bunnies and things, I've got Hey Jude on here. Hey Jude, Hey Jude, which is another fabulous song and a fabulous stitcher. So those are my colors that I've chosen for her. So that is the Jessie Watson Hands Across the Sea Sal with Barbara, who's the Raspberry Stitcher. So she did a Zoom that I missed this last week because, you know, well, I miss things. I miss things like the retreat, the Stitch Knits retreat. Debbie, let me know, because I don't know what I do, but I miss things. The other thing I had to do this week is I got to a bottom of a lot of my threads on here, and they were falling off. So I had to put them on little cards. So these are mine for May Health and Peace. These are my May Health and Peace colors. And I just took them off the little where I'd snipped the ends on the floss and had been hanging down. So this is by my Lady's Needle. And I am closing in. I got my tree finished today. Or this week. Not today. I didn't do anything yet today. But I got my tree done. And I got part of this flower done and a little bit more border on this side done. So, and the only way I know is I've had to stick things together to try to make this work, because it's getting big. It is a big girl. So here we go. This is my solution. I've got it on one of my cutting boards with a piece of white stuff behind it, but it's not quite long enough. So I finished the tree over here this week, and see, I only did one dog. Why I didn't do the other two dogs, I don't know. So thank you, because I got to get my two little dogs here. I missed that somehow. And then just close up my border, and it is done. It is so pretty. Gloria just made this thing gorgeous. The white little flower right there really does show up if you're here in person. And this one here, right over there, it does show up in person. I know it's not showing up. I'm trying to turn it where the light on. But they do show up in person. I know they're not showing up much on here, but it is beautiful. I just used the DMC conversion. I know the Attic has it. The Stitch Niche in Arlington has it, or had it until they sell out, I guess. I had them just do me the DMC kit. They kitted it up with DMC for me and 28 count linen. The only thing I would change is I would do it probably on 32 to try to make it a little bit smaller. Y'all, I don't know why the color is, I guess the blue board behind here and stuff's making weird shadows, but I am super pleased with it. I have been so happy stitching it and getting it stitched up, but I got to do them a little, see over there? It has all the little dogs, and over here, only got one little dog. So I got 2 more little dogs, one here and one there. I don't know how I missed those guys, but this has been crazy fun to stitch on, and I have loved it. So I'm nearly finished with it and with the Jelly Bean Jubilee. And so I thought I'd grab out these few things to show y'all that, so I had no finishes, no FFOs, except for I did add some trim to my FFOs last week. I thought I would show y'all some things that I've got on the docket here. This here is Flag of Stars. I got it from Shelly, and her Flosstube number 83, y'all, just stitching. Her Flosstube 83 is like an Expo highlight reel, so she shows all the things from Expo and stuff. And so this is an old one, but I wanted to tell this at the same time. She goes over things that are on there. And I know several of y'all have lost fur babies recently. We've talked about it. Amy Brooken has a chart that she shows, and it's called Rainbow Bridge. And it has a puppy one and a kitty one, and it is super sweet. So that I saw on there. And then Kathy Barrick has an Amelia Prescott that is so pretty. And then Hands On Design has those little square pillows. And there's one for Christmas, it's called the 25th, I think. And then the Halloween one's called the 31st. Also cute, but she goes over all those on there. And I got this from her a while back, and it came with the fabric and the, whatever these are, pearl cottons. I think it's 18 count linen, and then the pearl cottons to do this with. Oh, I need to wind my clock. But it's called Flag of Stars by Bent Creek. So it's up to get started on. So I'll have it ready for summer. This I have that y'all sent, and I'm dying to get it done. And I have the fabric for it here. Is Woolly Winter. And I've got some fabric for it right there. It's a shepherd's bush, which are so nice. So it is here. This is in a, I think this is the So Much logo. I'm gonna say this wrong. So Much to Love. I knew I'd say it wrong. It was a gift from one of y'all. There you go. And I'm not gonna, I try to turn these tags over because I don't know if y'all want me to say y'all name on here. This was a present. I've got that one in there. And then this one, y'all know who you are. This one is beautiful. And this chart, Danita knew was one of my, Danita has some always cool things on Stash and Load. She finds the best things. And she knew this was like one of my unicorns, and she found it for me. And so I finally found the fabric that I think I like. I put off starting it because none of my fabrics I was crazy about. I didn't want a fabric quite this light, but it is so cool. Kindred Stitcher had it in the background of her video a lot of times. This is French Country Linen, 32 count golden needle. It is from Jerry Lynn, and she's Fabric and Floss. Fabrics and Floss now. The name changed this week. My poor brain. Y'all. Lordy. Anyway, she used to be Finish a Quilt on Etsy, and then everybody would want her to finish a quilt. And she was like, no, that's not the gist of this. But this is also what I'm using for my Jessie Watson. This fabric is so pretty. And so that is on my really quick radar. This is some of the colors, and then it's got some sparkly ones and 3 DMCs that I've got to put on these little tags back here. So it is so fun. So that's on there, and then those are the 3 that I think are going to be the next starts to what I got going. So then last week, shares. And then if y'all send me your address, I'll mail it to you. If not, I will, you can do the PDF, because 2 of them were which I don't have anymore because it's Billy, the Psalm 68:19. So the 2 recipients of Psalm 68:19 were Michelle Howard and then Daisy's Always Stitching. So if Michelle Howard and Daisy's Always Stitching will email me, NissyLynn@Yahoo, their address, so I can either mail it to you, or if you email me and you want me just to send it. And Ava, I hope we've got you situated. If not, message me. I did not realize that the pattern was not saving itself in a PDF. Y'all know I'm new to this. And it was not saving it as a PDF, it saved it as something else. And so then that was, I know Michael wants to just send me out for adoption when she has to try to fix things that I mess up. Poor Micah, that's all I know to say, poor Micah. But these are the colors I used for it. Gentle Art Sable, Classic Colorworks Pickle Beats, and Weeks Dye Works Oscar are what I used for this. And then, so that's what I used for the Psalm 68:19. So if you 2 will let me know if you want it mail or you want it email. Snail mail or email, as the girls say. They love to get some snail mail. Hannah Cole sends them some snail mail, and they love to get snail mail. Y'all send them some snail mail. They are so excited to get the snail mail. And the little boy down the street from me, he's little, like toddler little. And I see him and his mom when we go out for our walk. And she said he loves to check the mail. I said, the girls do too. That is the most fun thing. Whether there's something for them or not, they love to check the mail. That's the best thing ever. So this was I know there's a piece of fabric in here from A Wicked Stepmother sent us this little goodie bag here of fun stuff. And in mine, I had some floss and this beautiful fabric. It is Blue Moon, 16 count Blue Moon is what was in mine. And it is, look at the modeling on that. It is so pretty. And I saw something this week that I think I'm going to use it on. So the recipient of it is Linda McGrew. And I just use the random comment picker all the time, so y'all be sure and use, the right word, because that's what it does. It goes in and uses your word and picks. There were 165 and then 82 people in, it said, I think, when it gave me the numbers. So I was like shocked. That's a lot of people. So this week I have had a few minutes that I could go in and get some of the things y'all send me to shares out. I have to go in and get them. And this week I thought I've got to go in there and get some of these because y'all are so sweet to send them. And the last couple of weeks I've not been doing, I've just been kind of a crazy brain. So this one is, and it's from Shelly's, but it wasn't from Shelly, but it's from her store. The 2018, this will be the shares this week, the 2018 Prairie Schooler Santa. And it is so cute. Look at that little bunny guy. Oh my gosh, I love it. If you're interested in this one, make sure you use the word Santa in your comment. We have, this is Little House Needleworks Embroidery Guild, which is so dang cute. That is adorable. And use the word, what did I say? Guild. Use the word guild, G-U-I-L-D, guild. I know I say things weird, y'all may not know. And then we have Not Forgotten Farm. My needle is sharp. Not Forgotten Farm, my needle is sharp. That is so cute. If you're interested in that one, use the word sharp. And then this one is also this one's from my LNS. When y'all sent it, it came originally from my LNS. And it is Shakespeare's Peddler, Love the Spring. It is beautiful. Love, love, love these. Teresa does such fabulous things. If you're interested in this one, use the word love. So if you're interested in all of them, you could say, I love the Sharp Santa Guild, I guess. I mean, but talking about y'all, I know I say things funny, and I've got it written down in here, so I'll remember to say it right. Audrey, who is our Irish friend on here, she always makes some fun comments and lets me know things because I love different sayings and things. And her saying this week is, she said, do you think, and I'm probably gonna say the river wrong, do you think I came up the Lagan in a bubble? So, which is a river, but I thought that was hilarious. And I think it's like around here you say, did your mama drop you on your head? Because it basically means, do you think I'm dumb? And so around here we'll say, you know, well, my mama didn't drop me on my head, or I wasn't born yesterday, or at least it was yesterday morning. So I love that. So I love when Audrey sends us things like that, and it just makes me laugh. So thank you, Audrey, for sending that, because I always enjoy that so much. So if y'all are interested in any of those, let me know. I think those were all the things I had to cover. I probably forgot something, but thank y'all for my presents. Y'all have a great week. I know my birthday's coming up, so y'all sent those for my birthday, and I don't know, maybe I thought that Baby Catch might come yesterday because that was my friend Susan's birthday. And so if y'all follow me on Instagram, I think it popped up on Facebook. I think I did it on Facebook too, but she is my friend. Like, I worked for her sister when I was in high school, and then we have always been friends. Always. I mean, that's a long time, right? And so we have all that time together that we're friends. And she is that good friend you have, like, she's always there. Always there. Patty, her sister, comes to, but nowadays when we're old, but when we were, like, Sue drove 2 hours when one of my kids was born to be there, you know, the next day. I mean, she is that friend. When CJ had his bad wreck and I was in no state, you know, she drove me to the hospital. I had to drive to Dallas because he got the helicopter ride. I mean, she is that. So this week, I guess I wish for y'all all a friend like that, friend that no matter what, they're going to be there. So I hope someday I grow up to be as good a friend as Sue is. Susan is the best. I mean, she can keep everything going, but she'll always be there. She's always there. She was at, you know, her and Patty came to Babe Catch's shower, and she's fabulous. And I've missed them so much because we haven't been getting together because of the COVID. And so I have missed them so much, but there they were at Baby Catch's shower. So this week, I'm gonna hope that somewhere you have as good a friend as Sue is, that will always manage to get her stuff together and your stuff together and get you there and be there. And so that's my wish for y'all this week. So y'all have a happy Friday and a good weekend, and I'll see y'all next week. Enjoy your stitching.